most eye-opening thing about being black is like you never know who secretly don't like you. This whole Joey Swoll situation really opened my eyes because it's so many other like white creators, musicians that I rock with, actors. Whole time in the dark, they probably don't even rock with me or my kind. Like what? It just be like, man, bro, nobody like us. They don't like us, bro.
What's up, YouTube? My name is Ralph, and welcome to the Absurd World Review. Today, I'm going to give my 2 cents on the Joey Swoll situation. If you hadn't heard, he got himself into a bit of trouble with the internet, or at least portions of the internet, cosplaying as Hulk Hogan to commemorate his death. And then made things all the more worse when he tried to apologize. So let's go ahead and take a look at this and see what we got going on.
Let's talk about Joey Swoll, because not only is he supporting racists, he's talking like one. So a few days ago, Joey reposted an old video of himself trying to honor Hulk Hogan after his death. But let's not forget, Hulk Hogan was a known racist. In 2015, Hulk Hogan was fired from the WWE and removed from the Hall of Fame for saying the N-word. And not only that, but he has an extensive...
What does that have to do with Joey Swoll? Hulk Hogan was a character. Terry Bollea was the real world person, racist, terrible person. Hulk Hogan was a character for a wrestling promotion in the 80s and 90s, and that character promoted nothing but positivity. Good health, patriotism, community, contribution, all that 1980s, good citizen, blah blah blah, uh, rhetoric, propaganda, whatever you want to call it. Either way, you can't really argue that anything about that was like negative. They weren't. There was no racism or division in his message, in the message of that character. So I don't really see how you can hold somebody accountable for loving a character because the person that created or portrayed that character turned out to be a detestable person. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you got to give up so much if that's going to be the way you go through life. Hey, don't ever watch a movie by the Weinstein Company, because the guy that produced that was an absolutely terrible person. Like, yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. You know how many artists, painters, and the like were just weird, like into weird stuff, had weird ideas. You're gonna not be able to enjoy that art anymore. What about authors? What about musicians? Like, it's absurd to try, and you have to separate the art and the artist. That's something that I was told many, many, many years ago, probably 20 years ago at this point. Um, and I thought on that for a little bit, and I thought, well, no, I've got principles, and I disagree with this person and what they've done in life, what they've done to other people. So I'm gonna refrain. And as time went on, and the more I thought about it, and the more you learn about people in general, it's hard not to see that if you can't separate the art from the artist, that you're going the amount of art that you can enjoy is going to be extremely limited. Extremely limited. People are flawed, but you should not be able to enjoy, experience, benefit from their produce if their produce isn't in itself inherently flawed. But anyways, let's see what else she has to say.
extensive history of being a racist. So naturally, people call Joey Swoll out. And what does he do? He goes live and says,
I can post Hulk Hogan if I want to. Just because somebody makes a mistake in their life doesn't mean that they haven't done good things. I don't know what he did, and he said something 20 years ago and apologized for it. If you're going to attack me, you better go after the colored athletes and the people that are black and minority that went and posted him as well.
I'm sorry, what did you say? Colored? Then he pretends not to know that colored would be an offensive thing to black people.
This woman is just looking for reasons to be mad. he said colored because the black and brown people, you know, he was trying to be inclusive, which is what we've been harped on about for the last decade. Inclusive, inclusion, blah 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 blah. So he tries to be inclusive, and you're gonna throw a fit about that. This woman, people with this viewpoint are just looking for reasons to be mad. They just want to be a victim so that they can get your sympathy, so that they can manipulate you. That's what all this is really about. Let's just be honest. And we need to start calling people out about this. It's absurd. I, I can't even stand these people no more. It's wild. Wild. All these people want is clout. That's all this is about. Oh, you didn't use the language that I like. So now we're going to destroy your life. That's wild.
People. At the age of 45, 46, Joey, you made a career out of calling people out for breaking gym etiquette. But when it comes to racism, you just want us to move on and forgive? As a black woman who Joey Swoll has made several videos about.
Isn't the NAACP the like national national something for the advancement of colored people?
And have had his fan base come to my pages and harass me and send death threats for weeks at a time, this doesn't surprise me. I could already tell the type of fan base that he's built. Then in your apology, you're reading from a paper. It's not genuine. And you literally said it the day before you apologized for it. We're not accepting that. We don't forgive you. We want you to stand on what you said.
I just want to know, who is we? Because I've seen plenty of black creators coming out and being like, Joey Swoll, you ain't got to apologize for nothing. So who is we? Crybabies? Narcissists? Like, she already said, oh, she's got beef with Joey apparently. So she's just trying to make this about herself. This lady's gross. Her whole attitude is gross. Ladies and gentlemen as well, don't be like her. Do better. You know what I'm saying? Little Joey Swoll. Come on.
Truth will always eventually come to the light.
Okay. So there you have it. Um, I think if you're mad about someone dressing up as a character because you don't like the person that portrayed that character or created that character, that you're probably just a miserable person. And you know what they say, misery loves company. So here you are trying to create more company for yourself. Uh, it's a nothing burger. And as far as the athletes of color versus colored athletes thing, it's not even semantical. It's like syntax. Um, and it's syntax that really doesn't actually affect the meaning at all. It's just a weird control method. It's really actually not that weird. It's a very well thought out, established method of control. You know, it's the type of stuff that George Orwell talked about in 1984. Uh, Maybe not the exact same method, but the manipulation of language nonetheless to control individuals. Um, it's gross, it's insidious, and it needs to be stopped. That's why free speech is so important. But there's nothing that should be inherently offensive about people of color versus colored people, you know. Um, so Joey, you never should have apologized at all. You should have stood 10 toes down and just ignored them, you know. It's not like the whole world was coming at you, bro. And you, I would think, know that just a handful of people can make a lot of noise on the internet. and make something seem like it's a lot bigger than it is. In trying to look for videos for this, I found more videos in support of Mr. Swoll than I found. It was kind of hard to actually find videos of people criticizing him. Uh, it's all fake. Ignore the hate. Just get back to work, man. And for the rest of you out there, don't let these people cow you into silence. You know, they're just looking for reasons to be mad. Um, God, growing up in the 90s was just such a, relative to now, a wild experience. Realistically, it probably wasn't, but just the like the things that were on TV, the things that people just joked about openly, freely, compared to now, it might have been more crass, it might have been more offensive, but it was certainly more free. And I think I'd prefer having that freedom and, hearing things that I might not necessarily like too much to constantly walking on eggshells. If you've ever lived with somebody that you had to walk around on eggshells with, you know how miserable that is. Um, I can't imagine trying to do that just in the world, period. Seems absurd. Anyways, that's what it is. My name's Ralph. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And hopefully I get a little bit better at this. Peace.